Hi guys, Andrea Mills here. Thanks for coming over this afternoon, or I guess could be morning or evening, or who knows what, wherever you are right now. For me, it's this afternoon. We are getting ready to go on a big trip tomorrow, and I thought that I would take a few minutes to talk to you guys about how we plan for a big trip for our family. This is actually the first really big trip that two of our kids have been on, our 2-year-old and our 1-year-old, because it's been 3 years since we went back to California. That's where Tom is from, and so we're going to go back and visit family and go do some fun things while we're there. So I think the first thing that I will talk about is kind of just a general why we're going right now. It's September, we homeschool, and it's September, and we're taking our trip right now because we haven't actually started school yet. We'll start on the 22nd of September because we always start after the first day of fall. But also, one of the benefits to going at this time of the year is that the weather is so really nice, but everyone else is in school. So when we go and do stuff while we're out there, it's much less crowded, and a lot of times the prices are getting a little bit cheaper too, which is very nice. So speaking of prices, our family always, we budget every month. Part of our just regular budgeting thing is to put money aside for a trip, and we don't always take one every year, but we try to put some money aside every month so that when we are ready to take a trip, we've already got some put aside. And also, though, that's usually the first fund that goes if something comes up, something that we weren't expecting, then we just wipe out our vacation fund and pay for whatever it is. But generally speaking, we're always setting money aside for a trip. So then, you know, here we are, it's time to go. So we already have all of our money set aside without it being a big deal. When we decided, probably 5 or 6 months ago, that we wanted to go this year, I went ahead and I estimated how much it was going to be for our hotel rooms. I, of course, was looking online and kind of seeing what prices were going to be. I estimated our gas prices, like how much it is per gallon, and about how many times we're going to need to fill up, going and coming, and while we were traveling around while we're there, an estimate for food, an estimate for tickets to get into things. And so once I kind of had that big number, which came to about $3,500 for us, then I looked to see how much money we had already set aside in our fund, and then I knew how many months I needed to save the difference. So every month we've been putting in more than we normally do just to make up that amount that we needed to get to the $3,500. The really big blessing has been that, well, a couple of things. One, we'd already reserved hotel rooms for staying on the way there and on the way back as we traveled, and then we were gonna get a room there that was like I think a Residence Inn was where we were going to stay, and it was going to have a kitchen in the living room and a couple of bedrooms, a couple of bathrooms, actually more bathrooms than we have at home, which would have been nice. But anyways, so we had already reserved our rooms, and then my father-in-law and his wife said that we could stay with them. So they actually have, let's see, it must be like a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. So we are going to get to stay with them. So that meant we did not need to pay for that hotel room. And then my dad said that he would like to go with us because in the past, before my mom passed away, my parents frequently went on trips with us, and he felt like he would like to go. So because of that, him and Tom decided that we could just drive straight through without stopping between all three of us driving. So we canceled our other hotel reservations for on the way down and on the way back. And then Dad wants to help out with gas, so I don't know how much he's gonna, well, he says he's paying for all of it. I don't think that he should do that, so we'll just see. But at any rate, that's gonna save us even more money. The final thing was that last time we went, we have a credit card that we use for business stuff, and we had points on it. So last time we went, we got free tickets using some of our points to go to Knott's Berry Farm. So we decided we'd look this time and see how much, or see if we could get that again. And they don't do it anymore, but they did just send us a check for the value of our points, which was almost $1,600, which was totally shocking to me. But anyways, that actually, between all these things, we pretty much didn't need any of the money that we had already saved. So I think we're going to roll that over into our home improvement fund, or a lot of it anyways. And so it's been just such a blessing that suddenly what we thought was going to be an expensive trip is almost coming out to be sort of like a free trip. So that is great. As we were talking about what we want to do on our vacation, we can't do everything, and for a couple of reasons: time restrictions and just the expense of buying tickets into things for 10 people can get pretty pricey. So we asked all the kids if they only got to do one thing while we were there, what would that be? And most of the kids said either they wanted to go to the beach or to Knott's Berry Farm. So that was a no-brainer. We were going to do those things. We also talked to my dad to get his top thing. He wanted to go to Rainforest Cafe. And then we talked to Tom's dad and, of course, ourselves. And so we came up with our must-have items, and then we started plugging all that into a schedule along with like all the family and stuff that we were gonna want to see and friends. So I just started making up a little schedule, and down here this is the day that we're gonna be going, and just to make it simple because I don't want to miss anything, I put on here a section for what we're gonna have for breakfast, what our morning activity will be, what we're gonna have for lunch, what our afternoon activity will be, what we're going to have for supper, and then what our evening activity will be. We went ahead and we're going to keep it simple for breakfast, and you can see we're going to be driving tomorrow night. We already have danishes and fruit bought that we will have for breakfast, and then we're planning to drive, have a picnic that we're packing along. Driving, we will get fast food. Hopefully we'll be arriving at this point in the trip. And then our plan is for the first day that we're actually there, I figured somebody could just run down to like a Dunkin' Donuts or something and get us some donuts for breakfast that morning. And then I thought we were going to be going to church with Papa Doug and Grandma Donna, but they decided they'd rather just do church at their house with us. So that's what we're going to do. And it's actually my dad's birthday this day, and his top thing that he wanted to do was go to Rainforest Cafe. So we're going to do that for lunch. And then in the afternoon, we are going to go grocery shopping and go to the dollar store because we're going to be going to the beach, and I don't like to have to pack more than is necessary. So we're just going to go to the dollar store when we get there and pick up toys and things that we can take to the beach and play with there. And then Grandma Donna is going to plan what we're having for supper that night. And then the kids and I will probably stay at their house while Tom goes to see his best friend over at his house on Sunday evening. Then on Monday, we always do a daddy tour because we're going back where Tom grew up. And so we like to just drive around and look at his old houses and where he used to work and where he went to school. So it's just fun for him to reminisce. So we're going to do the daddy tour in the morning and go to his favorite Wiener Schnitzel for lunch. I think that's how this plan's going to go. And then we're going to spend the evening at Aunt Melanie's, and we're having a potluck over at her house. That's Tom's sister. Then on Tuesday, we're going to be visiting the zoo. And we chose to go to the LA Zoo instead of the San Diego Zoo this year, because the San Diego Zoo is humongous and exhausting, and the LA Zoo is much smaller and easier to manage, so we wanted to go there instead. So we'll be eating lunch there, and then we're going to meet Aunt Susie's family for pizza at a park that evening for supper. On Wednesday, we're going to go to the beach. That was a lot of the kids' favorites that they wanted to do, and so we'll just take a picnic with us, and then we're going to hopefully meet Sal's family for dinner that night and spend some time with them. Then Thursday, we get to go to Knott's Berry Farm, and I know we're going to be very tired when we get done there, so we're just going to pick up some fast food and rest for the evening. Then we get to Friday. we'll probably just kind of hang out and maybe get some laundry done or something, like whatever we need to do before we go. And Papa Doug is going to pick where we get to go for lunch that day, and hopefully get to spend some more time with Aunt Melanie and maybe Uncle David that night. So that's kind of our plan for the week, hitting everybody's favorites, and then we'll be heading back home again on Saturday. In preparation for this, I usually make a little chart of this, my activity chart, and these are the kinds of things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be driving, we're going to have some picnics, we're going to be eating, we're going to the zoo, the beach, Knott's Berry Farm, we're going to do some shopping, we're going to have to get dressed while we're there, and we're going to have to sleep, and we're going to have to do a little bit of work, and extra stuff for just the little kids that we need to remember. So these are the kinds of activities that we're doing. Then I always go ahead and put a list of what kinds of things that we're going to want to take with us. We are going to install the TV in the van. We're going to take some books and toys with us, the kids' tablets, and chargers for while we're driving. And for picnicking, you know, we need to have our picnic supplies. We need the strollers and water bottles and things like that for the zoo. So I just kind of make a list of all the kinds of things that I think that we're going to need. And then I start thinking about which bag we're going to pack those in, because I want to try to keep everything as nice and compact as possible and have this plan. So our plan is to take basically 2 main bags and a cooler. The kids will all have their backpacks, and I'll have a small bag of my own, and some things won't go in the bag, like we're going to take the little portable high chair thing, and so that'll just be tucked in there without being in anything. As I start looking at this list of the types of things we need, I start trying to think about how I can do double duty with things. So for dressing, we are not going to take very many clothes. We're going to have a total of 3 outfits each. 1 of those we'll be wearing on the drive, and 2 will be packed. We are not going to pack extra pants for the boys. We're going to just wash. Probably every day we'll do a load of laundry while we're there. If something happens to somebody, maybe their pants get something spilled on them, or they get dirty or whatever, I have 2 ways of dealing with that. One is that there's always a store nearby if we need to go get something, and number 2 is like, how can we deal with this situation without having to pack more stuff? So in this case, we always have swim trunks that are going to be with us, so if I need to wash somebody's stuff in the middle of the day or whatever, they can throw on their swim trunks until their other stuff is clean. So I try really, really hard not to pack very much stuff. I take a lot of time to really think all of this stuff through so that I can get the list of things down that we need to take with us as to the smallest amount possible, but still be prepared. And I used to think like being prepared means I need to take a lot of things, and it's not actually that. It's thinking outside the box of how things can be used in more than one way so that we don't have to pack more. One of the things I'm just thinking of is that because we'll be doing laundry almost every day while we are there, I a lot of times like to have a laundry basket so that we can gather it all and transport it back and forth from the washing machine. And so I was thinking about, should I take a laundry basket? How else could I accomplish this without having to take something along with us? And then it occurred to me, well, once we get there, the bag that we're taking with our clothes is not actually a suitcase. It's going to be like an open, kind of a rectangle shaped open top bag. And I thought, that's not going to be doing anything. It's just going to be sitting there. So that's going to be our laundry basket while we're there, and I can use that to haul the clothes back and forth from the washing machine to back to our rooms where we're staying. I did order a few things just specifically for this trip. I got I made some new travel pillows because we already had, let's see, we must have had 6 of them already up in the attic, and I made some for our 2 little girls that had not been with us on a trip yet, and then I made a couple extras for the 3 of us adults to share while we're driving, so that everyone can hopefully get a little bit of rest on the trip. So I did make some new travel pillows, and I also ordered some new water bottles because some of the kids have lost theirs, and all the ones we have are kind of bigger sized, and I was thinking about when we go to Knott's Berry Farm or to the zoo that we will want to take them with us, and I would like them to be small and easy to look through, so I don't like having to like keep picking them up and looking to see whose is who. So I got some that were in everyone's colors, and then a couple kids have the same color, so I also put everyone's name on them, and I put one on the side so we can see it from the side, and also around the top of the bottle so that when we're looking down into the bottom of the stroller we can see right away whose bottle is whose, and hopefully we'll make things easy while we are doing all of our fun stuff. So those are some of the things that I thought about in preparing for this trip, and hopefully while I'm packing I will be able to make a video for you guys showing what everything looks like once it's actually being packed and put in the van. So keep watching for that video, and if I don't make it, I guess we'll see you guys once we get to California.